Hey guys, it's Will. So in this video, we're going to cover the quantum market in a brief update for Monday. We start to see the market react quite heavily to some of the news coming this week. And we're going to take a look here. We were trading ARQQ after our stockmate session. So nobody really saw my trade today. CTM, which we were down a little bit, and basically called it out this morning. We said, hey, I'm not going to buy anymore, but I already have a position and I could see a huge recovery here on CTM. And CTM stock swung from here, 92 cents, at one point up to $1.18 today. So really a huge day, 28% swing. Anyway, let's get into the quantum market. Saw that Michael Tucker took advantage of that, said, you can't miss the Stockmate live sessions. I agreed with him. It's the second link in the description. We got a special sale there. It's not getting any better than this. Hit that second link below if you want to join us live tomorrow at Market Open. Take a look here at quantum. This is the reality of the market. Green, 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 green. It has been green the past 5 days, and you can see that ARQQ was up. That's a company that's a little bit of a sketchy one, honestly, when I look at their company. I mean, I was just playing momentum today, but if you look at ARQQ Quantum, they're a little bit different. It's Arqit Quantum. Their market cap's at $294 million. And if you look at their financials, they only generated around 60 grand in revenue in the last quarter that they reported there. So I'm not seeing anything that's like outstanding. In fact, their website, when I looked at it, and again, not to throw shade or anything, but I didn't see any announcements that were crazy. And when I was looking at their company info, their overview, I honestly was like, this is kind of like stock information. I don't really understand what's going on here. Like, what gives? Why is the stock absolutely soaring today? I was looking at some of their partnerships, so they provide apparently quantum security for Intel, so that's interesting. I don't know these other companies, but quantum security, quantum safe security is a big deal. So that company was up today. That's kind of why I traded it and I was looking at it, and I don't know how legit it is, how much of a good stock it is. I didn't do a lot of research. I was just kind of playing the momentum, as sometimes we do. Now take a look here. Psst, yo, just chill out. So take a look here on QBTS. This is D-Wave. It's reached all-time highs. In fact, today we see it push up to $12.15. It is above previous highs. We were mapping it out for many months here, from November around $1 a share up to now $12 a share. This is a swing that makes a whole lot of sense to me. Part of it is their recent announcement, 200% swing. It looks overextended now, there's no doubt about it, but part of it is the momentum. When you look at the quantum market as a whole, the market's getting a lot more exposure. IBM just announced they had over $1 billion in revenue. You have Rigetti Computing start to have breakthroughs in their fidelity. You have Google launch their quantum Willow chip, and Microsoft the Majorana quantum chip, and also Amazon launched their Ocelot quantum chip. So here you are with D-Wave. Still net income not impressive, but they're the most commercialized company. You can see QBTS is not killing it financially, but looking a whole lot better than a lot of other quantum computing companies. If you take a look at their actual site and the companies that they service, we know that they work with MasterCard. We know that they have partnerships with NASA, and that they just released this article, the first to demonstrate quantum supremacy on useful real-world problems. So you can see they're being used throughout every industry, from automotive to finance to, in this case, food and supply. There's Ford there, and even Internet of Things, internet connections. So this is a quantum computing company that's really crushing it. Yesterday, we did a top 5 quantum breakdown. I don't know if you guys saw that. And QBTS was number 1 on a breakdown. And we went through 4 other stocks. If you're curious about them, we broke down what was IBM, Rigetti stock. We also broke down IONQ. So IONQ is up about 0.75%. As we could see, QBTS is the one that's recovered and shot up above previous highs. And this is kind of what we were looking at, because when we first saw this recovery after this sell-off, and this consolidation from left to right, we thought this might be the run. And that would have looked a little more, I guess, normal. But then we saw it sell back down one more time to this support and then break back up. And now we're at above previous highs. Some of the quantum computing companies haven't made that move yet. And if you take a look over here on IONQ, it's still down. It's starting to recover, but to get to previous highs for a company like this, be about 120%. So that's an interesting one. Same thing over here with Rigetti. It hasn't fully recovered. It started to break out of this trend and push above that 200-day moving average. So that's nice. A break to previous highs would be 100% increase. So there's a lot of upside that I see in these quantum computing companies. I'm not really looking at QUBT. I wasn't too fond of how they reported their company partnerships and didn't see any huge catalysts and was a little confused, frankly, why their company had gone up so much. Maybe I'm wrong. QSI, same thing, not really fully related to quantum, but got to capitalize on some of the quantum hype, despite being more like in the software and drug discovery space. But hey, what gives? The other company that was on the list was Google, and Google is oversold in my eyes. I see Google recovering. You could take a look at the overall trend with Google, that it's sold down and it started to bounce here. It's possible. This RSI, the MACD, we start to see it recover. The problem here is they capitalize only, and it's maybe not a problem if you want just a long-term investment, but they only capitalize on a very small knit little bit of their total revenue with the quantum space. They're big in quantum. They're putting a lot of money into it. And you see partnerships across the industry with companies like Rigetti and IONQ and a lot of these companies. But the reality is any big advancements most likely won't drive their stock up insanely. I mean, we didn't see anything out of the ordinary when they released the Google Willow chip. It wasn't like we saw some unprecedented surge or anything like that. So we'll have to see how it reacts. But overall, we're going to be watching these closely. I like this continuation on QBTS because now we're in uncharted territory. I do see potentially a pullback. But again, all these quantum computing companies, for the most part, like Rigetti, QBTS, IONQ, they're all speaking at that Thursday quantum day for Nvidia. So part of what's driving the market in AI right now, you see Nvidia is down still a little bit today. But luckily, my portfolio, we were able to capitalize on the ARQQ swing there. And then CTM kind of recovered. So we're still up about 1% on our portfolio today, which is nice. But overall, this market is getting momentum probably as a result of not just the Nvidia announcements and that all these companies are releasing and showing their quantum tech in San Francisco or in San Jose this week, but also because QBTS has their Qubits conference coming up at the end of this month in Scottsdale, Arizona, where they're going to release and share some of their tech. I'm going to be there at that Qubits conference. We won't be at this Nvidia event here this time. Most likely we'll be at their next one. But this is what the schedule looks like. We got earnings coming up for a few of the companies. A lot of them already reported. So we're kind of seeing now what is maybe investor sentiment on optimistic approach for revenue. QBTS, for example, surged. A lot of the reason why, if you look at their financials, is they changed their projections. Like their net income wasn't too good, but they projected that their revenue is supposed to increase very, very much so. They have these new targets for this next quarter that are very bullish. I don't remember exactly what it is, and I don't know if we'll be able to make them out perfectly here with the fourth quarter release. I think they might. Maybe I can see revenue. Their revenue was essentially flat there. Don't see. I think they had a projected revenue somewhere in here where it was really bullish. They were expecting revenue to exceed 10 million, as you could see. 10 million was a significant portion of the first quarter revenue, including revenue recognized from the sale of advantaged annealing quantum computer. They sold one quantum computer to, I think it was Montana State University, and then they sold another one to, I want to say it was a company in Germany. And so they're expecting 10 million in revenue. And if you take a look at their financials, they haven't had a quarter where they've broken above really 3 million. So that would be huge if they see that 10 million in revenue. They'd be closing that net profit margin gap very quickly. So we'll be watching D-Wave. And honestly, the biggest thing that we started covering in November with all these companies before they absolutely exploded, if they have a plug into a business, they work with a business, then it's going to succeed. If it's solely on research and development, it's going to be hard for them to succeed. Revenue, while some of these companies can just print money and get funding, a lot of them are going to still, it's such a new kind of up and coming tech in AI right now that's going to drive AI and the computing power that we're looking at with these quantum computing companies, that I would imagine the sole indicator that investors, big investors, are going to be looking at moving forward is viability of how much revenue they're generating. I think that's going to be big. So anyway, we'll be watching these companies closely tomorrow morning at market open. I'm excited for it. It's been rainy, it's been snowy, it's been stormy here in Northern California in the mountains. But you know what? We still have internet because our Starlink, new Starlink internet's working good. So we're able to go live at market open. If you want to watch me trade live at 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, it's that second link down below. I appreciate you all. Make sure to hit that like button if I earned it, and do consider subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.